Police are probing the death of a man who was killed by a mob in St. Elizabeth sometime after 2 Saturday afternoon in Myersville. It's reported that the man broke into a house, stole items including cash, and was attempting to leave. He was, however, confronted by residents. It is alleged he brandished a knife in a bid to escape, but residents used stones and other cutting tools to inflict wounds on him. Police further report that residents subsequently set the would-be getaway vehicle on fire with the man inside the unit. The injured man was eventually taken to hospital where he was pronounced dead. He has been identified as Jermaine Davis of a Silver Grove, Mandeville, Manchester address. The victim of the alleged burglary was left stunned. She explained she left her house just minutes before.
A peaceful place, this and this gonna happen now.
Yeah, man, a peaceful place. When me come one crowd of people like nothing surround the place. You go in a house, price up me just like, all of me, me jar them, me chest jar, me two jar with the key and me just and take out the money.
Several animals were seized by the
Listen guys, one man go down at St. Elizabeth figure about the people them house and them burn him alive. Them burn the man alive to backside. They get away car. What the man come with, them burn the car to ashes. Yeah man, that fear happened to them. Look how much St. Elizabeth go through. Look how much they go through. I don't want to rob where the people them have left. Serving right.
Man go down a St. Elizabeth go broke house and get catch. Yeah man, the citizens them catch him and burn him alive guys and burn him to death. All the car when come in at the getaway car, them burn it guys, them burn it to ashes. Yeah man, we never stop thief people thing, go walk.
This morning that we were visited by the Prime Minister of Jamaica. So we are standing here at the primary school gathering ourselves to discuss matters of importance as it relates to community development and recovery after the hurricane which just passed. So the Full Council as well as Office of the Chief has already been corroborating a lot of this data, and we intend to work in a collaborative way to bring the necessary assistance that is needed to those who are critically in need of that assistance. So we continue to await the arrival and also the Minister of Culture Badge. So it's been a while and we actually have the opportunity to meet officially in their presence today. So I think it's a special day and one that will mark perhaps a new chapter in the relationship moving forward.
This got almost full force of the damage.
All of the hurricane actually passed over.
Yes.
There's always this mystic that I don't want to hear and I don't want to spell that right now.
My friend, I go everywhere in Jamaica.
So I don't say afraid of.
You must go to your mind. I present you with a for the school. So Chief, I gather you have several of these. Yeah, so you can show him how to set them.
Look around, only those who have slab roofs actually still have a roof, right? And those who you see have done some patchwork in the short term, right? But the majority of homes that have roofs have lost their roof.
It's shops.
Yeah, shops have been severely affected. So we actually have our teams right now here. Each team has someone who has been identified to give them support in terms of navigating the terrain. What we've indicated is that we would want to now integrate the information that they have into our GH dialog format. It will call for us to also do some additional things, as I explained, because our format is now electronic, digitized, requires pictures and GPS location. So that will be done, of course, with support. We'll get that done quickly. We We are on the ground in a compound, and I'm here with Permanent Secretary Dion Jennings, Chief Technical Director Audrey Dale Williams, and our teams are out. We have 5 teams that are out in 5 different areas doing what? Assessments. And for us, today is all about assessments. And assessments are part of one of the priorities for the Ministry of Labour and Social Security in this phase of our relief and recovery. Why is that so? When we do the assessments, we're able to interview you at your house, take pictures, get GPS location, look on the infrastructure, identify the assets that have been lost.
I lose my black jump, I lose my bed, my dresser.
That is very important, of course, for you to receive any benefit, for you to be restored. And so the government, through our Prime Minister, has been focused on getting that process completed as fast as possible.
At least one high school principal in St. Elizabeth is calling for more support to address major infrastructural damage caused by Hurricane Melissa. Despite their efforts, the school's administration says they're unable to return to normal operations. Magotty High School in St. Elizabeth is still struggling to reopen fully a month after the passage of Hurricane Melissa. Out of more than 1,400 enrolled students, only 100 can attend classes on campus.
We are trying to rise to the occasion to provide support, especially for our students that will be sitting external exam. But I'm extremely concerned about the slow pace at which certain things are going, because the other children are out in the communities, and I'm concerned about the learning loss and just them dealing with the trauma of the impact of the hurricane.
Parents are also growing frustrated. Hundreds of students are falling behind while they wait for face-to-face classes to resume.
We are challenged to take students, any student whatsoever, based on the condition. However, we are compelled to take in our grade 11 students, and so currently we have over 100 grade 11 and 6th form students at school on a daily basis preparing for the exams. We think that that is a necessity. We can't debate that, but we are not in a position, based on the level of impact, the level of destruction of the classrooms and the other amenities that we need for proper school operations. We are challenged in that regard.
It's why the principal has renewed calls for urgent support.
If it is not remedied quickly, I don't see us being able to accommodate our full complement of approximately 1,400 students.
How does that make you feel?
I am concerned, very, very concerned. I'm saddened. I really want the school to work as hard as possible, and all the other agencies and communities, organizations to come together so that we can help these children, because they just to think about some of the implications, it's too deleterious for me even to go further with. But I'm really concerned about the situation.
Going on. Look at me sometimes like all you want to do is run. Hear me out, hear me out. It's all the things.
I wish I didn't have to speak, because I understand that by speaking I run the risk of being accused of complaining. But I speak because I have a duty to the people of northeastern St. Elizabeth, who elected me to be their voice and to be their compass. My issues today are multiple, but I will give you the abridged version. And I'll start with the long-standing practice, which has really merged into a convention whereby ministers or officials of the government ought properly to notify a sitting member of parliament before entering that MP's constituency to do any government-related issue. Now, that is not just a matter of parliamentary etiquette or constituency etiquette. It has its rationale in ensuring that as the duly elected representative of the people, you can be informed as to what is taking place in your constituency, so that by extension you can inform the people, so that you can make yourself available when the government officials are present to continue to represent and advocate on behalf of your residents and your constituents on issues that concern them most, issues that you might not have an opportunity in the parliament to raise because of the rules of the parliament. In a time like this, a very sensitive time when the most vulnerable are most at risk, we expect that practice would ensure that there is collaboration between the government officials and the elected representatives to ensure that persons can benefit. In my constituency, I have had to sit and watch as persons approach me the day before a visit to ask me if I heard that the Minister of Local Government is coming into the constituency. What is it that they're coming to do? Where can they meet them? And I have no answer to the questions because I was not notified in advance. In my constituency, first, the Speaker of the House came, and perhaps she came in her capacity as an individual outside of the politics, but by her utterances, she made statements to suggest that she had visited communities, and every community that she visited, residents were not hopeful that they would get any assistance from me as the Member of Parliament. And I thought it was very unfortunate that in a time like this, we would seek to sow seeds of division and discord, because the Speaker of the House visited 3 communities, all strongholds of the Jamaica Labour Party. Not one PNP community was visited, not one PNP community was given any of the care packages. In fact, the areas visited are well known: Rocky Hill, Santa Cruz, Burn Savannah, which is regarded by Edward Seaga as Little Tivoli. No reference was made to any other communities, but the Speaker formed the conclusion that every community she visited were not hopeful that they would get help to build back houses or do repairs. And I speak on that because she came into the community on Saturday morning, and by Saturday afternoon, the Minister of Local Government also visited the constituency. He distributed care packages, 60 to the sitting Jamaica Labour Party councillor, but I was not informed of his visit prior. The 3 other councillors who happened to be PNP councillors were also not informed of the Minister of Local Government's visit, and of course they got no packages from the minister. Only the JLP council received packages. And finally, the Minister of Justice came on Friday, and my constituency office happened to be right next door to the venue that he visited. I was not notified in advance. No, it doesn't matter. I see the statement from the minister, and labeling a statement as being contained or filled with lies or accusing me of lying does not make it untrue, and it does not change the facts. The facts remain, as I stated in my earlier video, that the minister came into the constituency without prior notice. The minister came into the constituency, handed out or distributed supplies. It doesn't matter if it was 7 or 77. The parliamentary practice, the convention still remains. It is improper to visit an MP's constituency without prior notice. That is a practice that has long been observed. And if it is that the government is now departing from that practice, then we need to know why. Because we're striving towards good governance. In England, they have codified that almost, in a sense, by having ministers' code, which set that out, that ministers of government must notify and not just give passing notice on the day, but proper notice. perhaps it is time for us to implement that here in Jamaica. Secondly, I speak on the issue of housing because the speaker made mention that persons that she spoke within the communities, the JLP communities that she visited, were not hopeful that they would get assistance. Like many of these members of parliament, I also received only $10 million as an allocation for housing repair. On the very first day that my constituency office reopened after the hurricane, we had over 600 persons in attendance at the office asking for housing assistance. Over 600. And when I went into communities like Mosquito Bottom in Windsor, they didn't even know that there was a deadline given by the government to report on matters such as those. So their information was never captured. I raise it to say to you that the government, you've heard, has given a directive that they are recommending that you give 100,000 to each beneficiary. I have not been able to do so. I have taken the decision that I cannot choose who should benefit and who should not. I cannot choose who should get help to put on back their roofs and who should not when everybody needs help to put on back their roofs. And so every one of those 600 and odd persons who applied for housing assistance, I've submitted their names. And so it means that they're not going to get 100,000 each. It means that some of them going to get $12,000, which is only probably 3 sheets of zinc. But what do we do when the funding is not sufficient? And let me make it clear. I have PNP people who voted for me. I have JLP people who voted for me. I may have people who never support the politics before and them go vote. So I don't care who people vote for. When I go into a community to distribute supplies or to assist people, I have never asked them who they voted for. Once I have it, I'm going to share it, even though it means sometimes getting quarrels from your own supporters who feel as though you're helping the other side more than how you're helping them. And I say this to say that we do not support the practice of division. We do not support the practice of undermining duly elected representatives whose only intent is to provide help for people who are suffering. We see people who are in need. We don't see JLP and we don't see PNP. We see people who are vulnerable and who are depending on the government to make the right decisions so that their lives can be better. And that's the only objective that we have over here on the People's National Party side. Now, finally, I speak to the issue of infrastructure. The constituency that I represent suffered not just physical loss to the houses or roadwork was completely destroyed in areas, particularly in Santa Cruz, where it seems as if a bomb was dropped overnight. We have holes in the roadways which were over 20 feet deep. Now, I've tried my best to assist, but these are all temporary gaps.
Guys, this is said to be burnt ground St. Elizabeth, close to Santa Cruz. Mighty, look at this. I don't know when the government is going to be able to fix all these roads. You wonder where water come from so if you dig out the road like this. Look there. No, sir. People, I'm telling you, I am not even sure if that was a hurricane. Maybe a hurricane they come with some other disaster mixed up in it, you know?
You can't pass out a junction. But why? What you say? Look at our good place. You can pass it, you know. Water start, man. Water start.
What's up, beautiful and amazing people. So guys, in today's video we are going to talk about this particular thief that was actually was it really like being burnt alive? And yeah, I know that's very sensitive, but according to the people of Jamaica, they're like, yeah, the people of St. Elizabeth did really, really well, because such kind of people are not supposed to be tolerated in this world. But again, if you look at it, at the situation keenly, you know, nobody has come to talk on behalf of the deceased, because it would have been better to hear both sides of the story before you comment about it. But now, in our reaction video, we are going to be neutral about the whole situation. We are not going to say that, yeah, it's good or it was bad. No, 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 no. We are going to look at the bad side of it, whereby, you know, this particular guy, nobody questioned him, or probably nobody asked about the situation, why he had to do so. And yeah, because, you know, if they had understood and known, like, the problem was ABCD, and he was forced to do this. And remember that the St. Elizabeth was hardly hit by Hurricane Melissa, so most of the people are at zero. Like, they really need 100% support. And if you actually see, I can confidently say that Hurricane Melissa has caused sprouting of theft in Jamaica and St. Elizabeth, because, you know, now people don't have anything at all. So by bad luck, this guy is found stealing, and unfortunately he's unalived and probably burnt. But at the end of the day, what I think these people should have done is to interrogate this guy and get to know what's the real problem about it. Probably they have even never this. Probably this guy could have been his first time to steal, and he has never stolen in the past. So they would have known actually what's really happening. And it was sad to see people celebrating, people being happy that, yeah, this has happened, and it's a big lesson. These people have been really disturbing us. All over the world, we are faced with insecurity. Wherever you are, wherever I am faced with the insecurity. And it's up to me to be keen, to have a third eye, to get to understand my surrounding, my environment, so that I can keep myself and my people safe. So for the people of St. Elizabeth, I really felt bad when I saw people celebrating and supporting the fact that this person was burnt. And for me, it was really, really wrong. I wish they could have even arrested the guy, taken him to the police station, and then they get to interrogate the guy. If he has an history of stealing, then it will actually lead to more uncovering of more and more secrets, and the police would have had something to solve, or a paradox or a puzzle to solve. But now they actually unalived him, and he went with everything that he had in mind about what is happening in Jamaica, what has been happening, what is being planned, you know. So honestly, I wasn't really happy about that, and I'll never really support the unaliving of any human being. We all deserve life. And now let's talk about this particular member of parliament from St. Elizabeth, who boldly came out and spoke for the people of St. Elizabeth, and told the government that, yo, my people need help as well. These are relief funds that you are receiving from several countries of the world. The people of St. Elizabeth, they are here. They really need that help, and at least you should be number one, because to be supported, because you have been supporting your government 100%. And it didn't go well with the Jamaicans, because they came out and they were like, yo, you want to tell us that you're the only people that have been voting for the JLP? Are you the only people that voted in this government? No, no, no. You should actually also prioritize other people, not just the people of St. Elizabeth. I understand so many members of parliament have come out and they have spoken on behalf of their people, and it's good actually. And guys, that is it for today. I'll see you in the next video.